Hello everyone, Blue Cyber Studios here with another video, and today I'm actually going to be talking about another Roblox game this time. It's called Sinister Elevator, and this is actually going to be a guide video of how to play the game and pretty much know the basics of the game entirely. So, yeah, but before we get to, the whole guide and all that, I'm going to explain what Sinister Elevator is. Sinister Elevator is another one of those typical Roblox games where, basically you go inside an elevator and you're teaming up with other players and you basically deal with many, many dangerous, monsters or dangerous stuff that's in the way that try to kill you. And you either have to survive against certain scenarios or you have to like complete certain trials and such like that. It's one of those games, the elevator games. And Sinister Elevator is pretty much like that, where you go in the elevator and then you wait for some kind of round to start, and you want to, of course, you can go against, different killers and such. So that's pretty much to sum up Sinister Elevator. Now I'm going to be telling you guys some kind of guide of, the simplest guide of this game and explain what this game has to offer and what this game's mechanics are. So the first thing I want to talk about is the mechanics, or at least explain the mechanics of this game. So the first thing I want to talk about is the voting system. Now the voting system is basically, a voting system. You vote whatever, you want. So basically, when you enter inside the elevator, if a round is over or a round is still intermission, um, if you look around the wall somewhere in the elevator, you'll find things that you can vote. Um, if there's three options to who you and your team want to vote for what killer you guys want to go up against. And basically, there's three options. Whichever killer has the most votes, that said killer will be chosen for you guys to go up against. And another thing I want to bring up is that these rounds do go pretty fast. So, like, these rounds last for, like, what? Maybe, like, a minute or so, I think. Or probably even less than a minute. Again, those rounds go pretty fast. So, yeah. But yeah, whatever killer has the most votes, that said killer will be chosen, and you and your team will have to face up against. And of course, the goal of this game is to, well, pretty much survive. Now, of course, there's way more than just, simply surviving the killer. There's actually more stuff to do in this game to just simply survive the killer. And that is, well, currency, of course. And of course, when you start off a game, there's actually four currencies in this game that I'll get into right now. So let's talk about the currencies. Currencies are basically, the stuff that you earn by simply playing the game. There is currently in the game five different currencies: coins, gems, survival points, and of course, charms. Now, what are coins for, and how do you get coins? Well, coins are the most common currency to earn throughout the entire game. You simply earn coins by either surviving around, or you can just simply find them around, the maps of each of the many different killers that you go up against. And of course, you can also find them easily as well by finding certain objects that you can also get rid of or open up to get said coins and such too. Because there are objectives in certain maps depending on which killer you're going up against as well. I also want to bring up this thing too. At some point, at some time when playing this game, you'll randomly come across this thing, Nick Cox's Soul, or Nick Cox's Soul. I don't know how to pronounce that. Nick Cox's Soul. So basically, you'll find like a little statue of which I'm assuming is supposed to be the creator of the game, Nick Cox, or just Nick Cox's Soul. Um, Basically, you can hold the action button to collect it. If you collect it, it will also give you coins. So not only can you get coins by surviving around and simply just finding them around the maps or just grabbing them from like, open containers and such, you can also get them from collecting the souls and too. Which I'm assuming the souls are meant to be collectibles, but Who knows? Now on to the red gems. Now, gems are a more rare currency, and to get them, you actually have to find them on specific spots in specific maps. And they always stay in that specific spot most of the time in every single map that you are in, pretty much. Every single map, there's a specific spot for where a gem will be located at. And you'll notice where the red gem is at because one, it's floating, two, it's a red star looking thing and it glows red. And gems can be used to purchase more stronger items, by the way. I forgot to bring this up with coins. Coins can also be used to purchase, well, the more simpler items. Now, although these items can help you too, the more, like, expensive items, and even, like, items that you can get from, like, gems and survival points are way more useful in a sense, considering they're stronger, obviously. Now, the next one I want to talk about is survival points. Now, survival points is pretty straightforward. You simply earn them by simply surviving a round. There are times you survive a round, and there are times you won't, because, there are times you go against an easy killer and you actually have an easy time because it's an easy killer, so you easily get a win on that. But what if you end up going against like a hard killer or an impossible killer? Now, hard killers aren't necessarily that bad, like once you like get really overpowered like items. But against like the impossible difficulty killers, you just gotta wish the best of luck. But yeah, survival points can also be used to purchase, well, also really strong items too. Now, the last currency I want to mention is charms. Now, charms are quite different. Instead of earning them by simply playing the game or whatnot, or doing something in a specific way, you actually, it's technically like a prestige sort of scenario. It's like a prestige system. So, at some point, when you grind the game more frequently, you'll unlock this room, the charm shop room. And, of course, you can find it pretty easily in the lobby. Like, of course, you gotta grind a good amount to unlock this, I think. I don't know how you do it, but I'm pretty sure you're supposed to unlock this shop eventually. So once you find the charm shop, in order to get charms, you have to actually exchange your points, which is the coins you get by playing the game pretty much. You need 10,000 points in order to get one charm, but you can also get two charms by simply getting 20,000 points, or in that case, 20,000 coins. And the charms can be used to pretty much purchase the most OP items, I guess. I never gotten to that point in the game yet because I don't really grind it that much. But yeah, at this point on, you'll definitely get some. I'm assuming they're supposed to be pretty OP, considering like basically the charms is like it's like a prestige system. Like once you grind enough, you can go ahead and prestige and such. The charms is pretty much like that. It's pretty much a prestige system. So that's enough about the currencies and such. Now I want to actually talk about the things that everyone would know about by now, the killers or the mechanics of the killers. The killers are obviously the main point of this game. Of course, there are many different killers that you and your team will have to go up against. The mechanics are quite simple, most likely. Most of the killers just simply chase you, and you just simply gotta keep your distance and hope you survive. Some killers take some time to kill you, some killers insta kill you, some killers just kill you quickly. Some killers are slow, some killers are fast, some killers are just straight up, OP in general. Now, I'm not going to talk about all of the killers, considering pretty much all the killers do the same thing, most likely. It's just different stats and such. However, I do want to bring up one thing about the killers, and that is the difficulties between, well, the killers. Yes, the killers have their own difficulties that pretty much, explain how hard these killers are to go up against. We first got the easy killers, which means the killers are very easy to deal with without effort. Then we got medium killers, who are not that bad but shouldn't be underestimated. Hard killers, who are pretty hard to deal with pretty much. And then we got the impossible killers. killers who are really, really hard. And each of the four difficulty types of killers have simple colors too. The easy difficulty killers being green, the medium difficulty killers being yellow, the hard difficulty killers being red, and the possible difficulty killers being purple. Obviously, the easy killers are, well, ridiculously easy. You barely have to put any effort into beat them at all. Then there's the medium difficulty killers, which aren't really hard, but shouldn't be underestimated. Then there are the hard killers, which are usually, quite hard to deal with, actually, and you definitely need some good stuff, pretty much, to handle them. And then there's the impossible difficulty killers, which are the most hardest killers to deal with. Even with good stuff, you are guaranteed to die against any of these impossible difficulty killers. And you just need simple, pure luck to even survive against any of the impossible killers. But yeah, that's pretty much all I gotta say about the difficulties of these killers. There's also a forest with secret badge thing as well, which basically there's actually secret items you can find in some of the impossible killer rooms, which I'm assuming those are the only killers that you have to face in order to find these secret floors or secret badges. So good luck on trying to grind for those too, because you're definitely gonna struggle against impossible difficulty killers. Um, So now that we're out of the way with the killers, now I'm gonna bring up another thing too. Um, there are modifiers in this game. Yes, there are modifiers in this game, and modifiers tend to happen at some point randomly in the game when you're playing it. And all these modifiers can be pretty bad in their own ways. Um, so the first modifier I'm gonna bring up is Clone Killer. Now, Clone Killer is nothing really that bad. It's only really bad depending on like what killing you're going up against. Well, if you're going against like an easy killer and that modifier happens, um, then it doesn't matter because easy killers, they're easy. You can easily like beat them and such. Medium killers, same thing. Just be careful because they shouldn't be underestimated. The only time that clone killers really becomes a problem, I think, is when you're going against either a hard killer or, God forbid, you go against a fucking impossible difficulty killer. Holy. Um, but yeah, this is definitely one of the less bad ones, at least. Like, if especially you have like really good items, or especially it's pretty much a nothing burger modifier. Now, the second modifier I want to bring up is random killers. Now, random killers is basically instead of going against a specific killer that you normally go up against that you and your team voted, um sometimes it will just choose a random killer instead. So it'll just be facing a killer in a different map pretty much. Now, obviously, you better hope it doesn't pick an impossible difficulty killer. Because if it picks an impossible difficulty killer, especially on maps that are really not balanced for any of the other killers at all, yeah, you're pretty much just screwed. But either way, you're most likely gonna do fine as well. Just again, it's another nothing burger modifier. You just gotta really hope it doesn't choose an impossible difficulty killer. Because again, most of these maps are not meant for these other killers. So either the killers will just either end up breaking, or the killers are just gonna be straight up really busted on these other maps. The maps that are not meant to be on because of this modifier. Um but yeah, that's all I gotta say about the random killers modifier. Now, the last modifier that I'm gonna bring up, and this is actually the worst one to ever deal with in the entire game, bare bones survival or bear survival. Now, what is bear survival? It's basically the normal game mode, except all your items are disabled, which means you cannot use any of your items at all. So the reason why this modifier is the worst one, because one, it really takes all of your items away. Now, on against easy killers, this is not a big deal. But if you're going against like killers that are higher than the easy difficulty ones, I mean, medium wouldn't be that bad, sorta. But against like hard and impossible killers, yeah, no, you're not doing anything to those at all. This is the worst modifier to ever go up against because you're just most likely gonna die because you're either gonna end up going against like medium difficulty killers or you're gonna go against hard and impossible difficulty killers. Yeah, this modifier just generally is sucks to go up against. But overall, that's all I gotta say about the modifiers. I also forgot to mention some other things too, specifically about the voting system. Um, Sometime once in a while, when you're playing the game more often, eventually the voting system will disappear, and the elevator will just choose a random killer for you guys to go up against. So yeah, eventually you'll no longer be able to vote, but sometime later you'll be able to vote again. It's just another mechanic for the voting system that I forgot to mention in this video. Um, Now that's pretty much the basics of this game. Now, before I do end the video with the conclusion, I I want to at least show a couple more things. I'll at least show the shops of what the items look like in the shops. The shops that you need to purchase with certain currencies that you need from playing the game and whatnot. So here they are. All right, and that's pretty much what the shops look like. And I think that's pretty much it for this simple guide that I have to explain to you guys. Obviously, this is not the best guides I can give. Again, this is just a simple guide to how to play this game. Um, I might make another video about this game somewhere in the future. I just don't know when. But I thought about making a video at least, talking about the game a bit and also giving you guys some kind of guide to at least how to play this. This is a pretty simple Roblox game, though. It's just another elevator game, but overall, it's a game that I will occasionally play at some time when I'm bored or something. But anyways, that's all I gotta say. You guys enjoyed the video. That is great. I'm Blue Studios. I will catch you all next time. Peace out, everyone.